Hello and welcome back to this tutorial. In our previous video, we learned how to use the sort methods to sort or filter our data. So in this video, we are going to be learning how to group our data. Okay, so why is it necessary and why do we have to group our data? So now, let's take for instance, in this our CSV file, we have a couple of rows that has the same value for the city column. So here we have this Chicago. We have two persons that their cities are Chicago, and we also have two Atlanta, right? So for the sake of this video, I'm going to modify this data a bit, and I'm going to copy this New York, and I'm going to paste it on about two more rows so that we have three persons from New York. And I'm going to change this Portland. I'm going to copy this Portland, and I'm going to paste it in two more rows. So now we have three New York, two Chicago, three Portland, and two Atlanta, right? So we can decide to group this data frame by their city so that the persons that their cities are New York will be grouped, the ones of Chicago will be grouped, and then the ones of Atlanta and Portland will be grouped as well. So coming back to our VS Code, we are going to just clean this up, and I am going to change this variable. So I'm going to call it grouped, and I'm going to set it to a value. So here we have been using this data frame. So I'm going to remove this to comment this out as well because we don't need it again. So I'm going to refer to this data frame like we have been doing, and I'm going to call a method called groupby, and it is going to take one argument. So this argument is the row or the name of the field that we want to use and group this. So we want to group it by city. So we have multiple persons that are in same city. So now we have grouped this data frame by city. So if I print grouped, so let's print grouped. So if I print this, we just get a mapped object, and this is just telling us that this Panda library has this blah 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 mapped at that. So it's just an object. So if you want to get the individual data frames for the cities, what it looks like, we are going to loop over the data frame. So how does this exactly work? The way this works is that Python is going to get each data frame, is going to split the data frame into the individual groups. So it's going to first of all split the entire data frame, and it will now merge those that have the same group. So it's more like a split and apply method. It's like a two-step method for Python. So the next thing we are going to do now is that we are going to try to get the individual groups. Okay, so the first thing we are going to do is that we are going to use a for loop. So, and we know how to write our for loop, so we're going to write that for key, comma, and data frame in grouped. So this works like a dictionary. So it's going to get a group, and then it is going to assign a data frame to it as the value. Okay, so and write our semicolon. So what do we want to do here? We want to print the key and then the data frame. All right, so now I am going to write a print statement. So I'm going to just write the key. So that is going to be the group name. So I'm going to write it in a string format, and I'm going to write that the key, so I'll pass in the key. So, and I'll pass in the data frame. So now we are going to run this, and now we have the different data frames. So we now see Atlanta, and we have the two persons that they are, and we have the two persons that their cities are Atlanta. So we are having an unknown field there. So I'm going to save this again, and I'm going to run this. So okay, so I think that is sorted. So we have the Atlanta, and we have the persons under that their cities are Atlanta, we have Chicago, we have New York, and all that. So we can see now these are four different data frames. Okay, so now we can decide to get the groups individually. And how can we achieve that? We can achieve that by printing Well, there's grouped, and then we apply the get grouped method. So we are going to apply this get group method, and we will now pass in the exact group that we want to get. So we are going to go for Chicago first, and we are going to pass it here as a string. So now we have Chicago. So we run this, and we have only the Chicago group printed for us. So we can pass in New York. So we are going to pass in this New York as a string. Okay, just the way it was written there. And if we press this, so I'm going to type that in manually. Probably I didn't copy it very well. So if we paste this and run, we have all the persons that are from New York as a data frame. Okay, so I believe that right now we know how to use the group by method to group our data frames. So thank you so much for watching this video. And in our next video, we are going to be learning how to merge our data. So thank you so much for watching this video, and see you in the next one.